Welcome everyone to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by CAS Clinical Consulting and Everable Marketing, the go-to resource to learn the latest hacks and the best practices for marketing and growing a profitable medical aesthetics practice. What's going on, everybody? Luis Trevino here, and welcome to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. Today it's just going to be a solo episode, just me. I know you guys will miss Billy, but you guys get to have me today. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 ways you're killing your med spa marketing plan, and not in a good way. And so, as you guys know, we've been working with medical aesthetic practices for quite some time now. And, as we talk to people, when we first kind of onboard them as a client, there's a few things that we've identified that we've kind of noticed that they're doing that is not really helping them at all, and that obviously that's why they're looking at us. So we're drawing inspiration from there, but then we're also drawing inspiration from some of the clients that we have talked to that were already doing really, really well before they ever even sought us out. So we wanted to bring some of that information to you guys and kind of share the knowledge with you all and see if we can potentially help you in any way, so that you can avoid some of the mistakes that we've seen other people make when they're running their med spa business. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and talk about the first one. Okay, so the first one is dumping marketing tasks on your staff. And so this is a common one that we see, and we actually see it a lot with, especially when you're having events or when it comes to social media. And so in particular for events, like a lot of the times we see that, obviously you want to take pictures or you want to post on social media in regards to your event or different things like that. And a lot of the times you might tell your staff, well, hey, go and take pictures or something along those lines. We notice that sometimes a lot of our clients forget. They even forget to tell their staff. And then when they do tell their staff, at the end of the day, your staff isn't trained to take great photos, and you really want to make sure that you get amazing photos, because you're creating this marketing content for your business that you're going to be using later on to market your business, right? And so you want them to be really good photos, because you want other people that have never been to your practice to have a very good impression of your business, right? And so if you're just telling somebody who, says that they're great at taking photos from their phone, they might be pretty good, but why risk it, right? Instead invest in bringing in a professional photographer. And even for your events, that's going to look super cool if you have a professional photographer there taking really cool photos. The same thing we see happen all the time when it comes to just marketing for social media, right? You tell your staff, hey, take a picture or write something and put it up online. And what we see a lot is that when you do that, there's a lot of inconsistency when you're developing your marketing plan, or the fact, one of the things that we say when it comes to social media is that you want to be posting on a regular basis. So if you just have your staff doing it, your staff's working on other things, right? You didn't hire them to do marketing. You hired them to manage your front desk, to provide actual services, right? Or to do administration work, whatever it was you hired them for. They're not trained professionals when it comes to marketing, social media, or different things like that. So why would you actually, manage your resources ineffectively by asking them to do something that they are not trained to do well, And so when you're doing that, you're really just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So really look at, what you could potentially do, maybe bringing somebody else on board who is actually trained on that specific task when it comes to marketing, or looking at potential agencies like ours, for example, that could really kind of help you get this job done and get it done well. So that's the number one that we see a lot, dumping marketing tasks on staff that haven't been trained on how to do marketing appropriately, right? Number 2 is allowing tech support to run marketing campaigns. And so we see this a lot, especially when it comes to software that wasn't built for marketing, but has the ability to do marketing. So I'll give you an example, like Aesthetics Pro has the ability, like if you use Aesthetics Pro to manage your schedule and also your patients and different things like that, Aesthetics Pro does have a ability for you to send email marketing campaigns, right? And so a lot of the times, what I've seen people do is that they'll call Aesthetics Pro and they'll get their tech support to help you create an email or to basically run some type of email campaign or something along those lines for our clients. And at the end of the day, tech support is not a trained marketing professional. Even at times, a lot of the people that these big marketing companies or big companies in general hire, to do that stuff are not actually trained or specialists. They're just people that they pick up, that they train how to use the software, and then that's pretty much it. They know how to use the software, but they don't really know the best tactics, the best practices for launching a successful marketing campaign, regardless if you're doing it through email, text messages, or whatever it is, right? So that's one. Another one is like GoDaddy, and GoDaddy is like a big domain platform. And obviously, on GoDaddy, you can have your website, but a lot of times you can have them do different things like email marketing or just like even your website as well. And at the end of the day, you're talking about this really big company that works with companies from all these different types of industries, and they don't know your industry. They don't know what works or what doesn't, And so a lot of the times, you might have a problem. They might reach out to you trying to sell you an additional service for marketing, but they have no idea what they're doing, right? And so a lot of the times we see our clients just kind of throw money at that, and then it doesn't really result in anything because, again, these people don't know what best practices are in your industry. And so, again, shooting yourself in the foot if you're doing that right now. So number 2 was allowing tech support to run your marketing campaigns. Let's go ahead and go to number 3, which is going to be handling all the spa business marketing yourself, right? And if you're a solo entrepreneur, maybe you just started your business, we get it, right? You don't have the funds. You might need to be bootstrapping, as we say, or you might need to be doing a lot of these things for yourself. You're wearing all these hats, right? And that's okay. But you should always be working towards getting to that point where you let somebody else do it, right? Whether you hire somebody internally who is a professional at what they do, or looking to hire an agency that can actually help you get that marketing done. And really, this is twofold, right? One is that obviously, you might not be trained in marketing, so it makes no sense for you to be doing it. If you're doing it right now, and because you don't have the funds for it, get to the point where you do have the funds for it, and as soon as you can, bring somebody else that can help you. And number 2 is you're the business owner. You have no business, right, doing that type of service. Not because necessarily, we talked about not being trained at it, but on top of that, your focus should be on growing and running a business, not doing tasks that other people can be doing, right? You need to be kind of thinking on a bigger scale that you're not just a solo entrepreneur. You are a business person, and you need to focus on running and growing your business on things that only you can do, right? Not things that other people you can hire to do, right? And so that's a really big one because we see this a lot. Obviously, you're doing the work yourself, and you shouldn't be wasting your time on doing that when you can have somebody else do it for you, right? So that's a pretty straightforward one. Number 4 is going to be taking an old school approach to digital marketing. And that's the thing, guys, like marketing is changing so rapidly. There's new technology, new methods that are coming out every single day. And it's really hard for you to stay up to date in what is actually going on, right? Especially if you're, doing all these different things in your business. And so one of the old school approaches is like, well, you have to be doing SEO, right? Or you have to wait 3 to 6 months until you start seeing results from your marketing campaign. That is the biggest fallacy in marketing that you will hear. Yeah, that was true maybe 5-10 years ago. Not today, okay? You can implement a campaign and you can start seeing results as soon as tomorrow, if not a few hours later. And so there's new tactics, there's new opportunities that are out there for you right now that are actually gonna help you get results sooner than later, right? And so taking an old school approach, like things that were done a while ago, even when it comes to traditional advertising, right? We're doing radio, doing TV, doing magazines, different things like that. All that stuff still has a place in your marketing plan, but it shouldn't be the first thing that you actually do in your marketing, because it's going to be really hard for you to get a return on investment on that stuff, because one, it's super expensive. Number two, it's hard for you to keep track of the results that you're going to be getting from the traditional advertising, right? And so again, taking an old school approach, focus on digital marketing and make sure that you implement campaigns that are going to get you results fast. That's number 4. And lastly, number 5 is failing to nurture leads to the end of the funnel. And this is super important because we talk to people all the time, and this is the common thing that we hear constantly, right? They implement a Facebook advertising campaign, a Google advertising campaign, and we said, Luis, we generated a ton of leads, but a lot of these leads were very low quality. They didn't schedule. We couldn't even get a hold of them. Or worse, they said that they had no idea how we got their information. They don't even recall signing up for our advertising campaigns. It is the worst. I know, right? And that's the thing, one of the biggest issues, that is one of the biggest issues. And the reason why that happens is because we're failing to nurture the leads and really educate them before, they actually come in or we try reaching out to them, right? And so we talk about this all the time, is that you need to take a different approach, right? We need to be creating marketing content and putting it out there. We want people to know us, like us, and trust us, right? And so that is one of the main things that we preach here at the podcast. We preach it in our agency, and you're going to hear it constantly, right? We do business with people, with real people, not with other businesses. And so the way we gain trust with people is by educating them, right? So we want people to know us, like us, and trust us, okay? And that all happens through nurturing. And so to give you a real life scenario, on Facebook, you can implement advertising campaigns where you're distributing videos. Those videos should be educational in nature, where you're educating people on the 5 reasons why they should get injectables at your practice versus somebody else, the 3 things that they need to look out for before they get injectables, anything that is educational, right? What happens when you come in for a consultation? What happens after you get injectables? What happens after you get cool sculpting? Talk about your services and think about what are some of the common things that people tend to ask you in the consultations, right? Write those down, create a 60 to 120 second video on answering those questions, and then grab those videos and put them up on social media, put them up on YouTube, and then distribute those to your local market. You're going to start to build trust that way. People are going to start to comment on those videos. And as a result of that, you're going to start to get people to come into your practice and get stuff done at your practice versus somewhere else, right? Because again, you're educating them, but the added benefits to that is that they're starting to see you, they're starting to like you, they're starting to know who you are, right? And once they come in to see you, it's actually going to be a lot easier sell because they've already been educated by you, right? So it's very important that you nurture these people. And once you do those videos, you can get them in something like Patient Gem, and Patient Gem will actually have campaigns to nurture those people even more through text messages, through emails, and that's something that we can actually help you guys get set up. So super important. Number 5, failing to nurture the leads to the end of the funnel, right? And so to the end of the funnel means, obviously you have your prospects, your appointments, your consults, and your closes, right? And so you want to have different marketing campaigns to make sure people go from top all the way to the bottom. So super, super important. All right, guys, so that's all we have for you today. Number 1 is going to be dumping marketing tactics on staff that is not trained on how to do marketing. Number 2 is allowing tech support to run your marketing campaigns. Number 3, handling all the Med Spa marketing yourself. Number 4, taking an old school approach to marketing. And number 5, failing to nurture leads to the end of the funnel. Okay. Now, if you're currently struggling, if you identify with some of these, right, please reach out to us. And if you need help, if you're already at that point where you say, you know what, I do need to make sure that I hand this over to people that are professionals, that are going to do it right and that are actually going to help exponentially grow my business, then feel free to reach out to us, okay? In addition to that, we still have our Patient Gem giveaway going on right now. So if you want to get 3 months of free access to Patient Gem and help you set it up, then go ahead and click the link on this video on the description and go to the website, fill out the survey, and you're going to be entered to win. We're going to announce 3 winners, and those 3 winners will have free access to Patient Gem for 3 months, okay? So take advantage of the opportunity, and I guess that's pretty much it, guys. We'll catch you all on the next episode. Thank you, and have an awesome week. Bye-bye.